Yes guys, and welcome back to JB Talks Football. Today we're going to be looking at my Game Week 5 Premier League predictions. Can I just say a massive thank you for all the support the last video got, and let's ask for 20 likes for this video. We smashed the last one and that means so much. Please subscribe, please comment, hit that notification button, and let's get into it. The first game in this game week is Newcastle versus Liverpool, and Liverpool will be very happy after two 2-0 wins in the last 7 days. A 2-0 win at Anfield against Villarreal, who in my opinion have been the dark horse of this Champions League, and a 2-0 win over Everton, sending them into the relegation zone. Newcastle, don't let the score fool you. They did win 3-0 against Norwich, but Norwich had plenty of chances to have won the game. But when the chance did fall Newcastle's way, they did put them away very nicely. I think Guimarães will score for Newcastle, which would be his 5th goal in 14 games, which is superb for a midfielder. And I think Mane, Diaz and Henderson will score for Liverpool, leaving them with a nice 3-1 win. The next game is Villa versus Norwich, and this is a huge game for Norwich, as if Burnley do beat Watford at the other 3 o'clock kickoff, they will be relegated back to the Championship once again. Villa will be very disappointed at the minute, as they've not won a lot of their games and have dropped to 15th. But I think Steven Gerrard will get them back onto winning ways in this game, and I think they will win 2-0 with goals from Coutinho and Ramsey. But there is a small glimmer of hope for Norwich fans with their poor run of form, having dropped 15th in the Premier League. So we'll see what happens with this one, but I'm predicting 2-0 and Norwich to go back down to the Championship. The next game is Crystal Palace versus Southampton. Despite a convincing performance against Chelsea, Crystal Palace have not won a game since their quarter-final on the 20th of March. Southampton haven't won in their last 2 games, but obviously their last win being that superb win against Arsenal, who've had a real change in form in recent times. I think, though, despite their push for the victory, this will end 2-2, with Zaha and Benteke scoring for Palace, and Armstrong and Ward-Prowse scoring for Southampton. Watford versus Burnley, and what a massive game this could be for the relegation battle. Burnley could take 2 massive wins if they get the 3 points. Not only would it push them further away from the relegation zone, but it would also relegate Norwich if they are to lose against Villa. Watford have not won in a good lengthy period and have had some really golden opportunities in previous games, including that miss against Brentford. I think, though, that Burnley will win with such confidence behind them after that shock win against Wolves, which put them out of the relegation zone. Obviously, Everton sinking themselves deeper into it with their loss against Liverpool at the weekend, and I reckon that they will win 2-0 with goals from Weghorst and Vidra. I'm saying 2-0 for this game. And the next game is Wolves versus Brighton. And Brighton have only got 4 points from their last 4 games, obviously previously 2 massive wins against Tottenham and Arsenal. But, I mean, Wolves haven't done particularly well either, but there are massive point differences between them in the Premier League table. I reckon that Wolves will win 2-0 with goals from Conor Cody and Podence, and I think this win will really start to give them a little hope that maybe they could push for maybe a Europa Conference or maybe even a Europa League spot for next season. And the final game of that Saturday is Manchester City versus Leeds. Now, Leeds, despite drawing against Crystal Palace, which would be a brilliant result for them, could be in a bit of bother if they don't turn their next couple of results around, as they are starting to dip lower and lower in the table. City, though, had an absolutely thrilling Champions League first leg at the Etihad against Real Madrid. Some absolutely fast-flowing, entertaining football that you couldn't keep your eyes off. But I reckon they will win 4-0 with 2 goals from Gabriel Jesus, a goal from Kevin De Bruyne and a goal from Laporte. And the next game is Everton versus Chelsea. And this is Frank Lampard's first game against Chelsea since his sacking, previous to Thomas Tuchel coming in. Now, I reckon that Everton will really have to push for this one, as on paper they shouldn't win, but they are in the relegation zone after their result against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. But Chelsea, they've had a little dip in form, obviously going out in the Champions League, clearly not their confidence, but they are through to the FA Cup final, but they did have a very disappointing draw against Manchester United, but they did dominate throughout the game. I reckon that they will win 3-0 with goals from Havertz, Mount and Werner. The other game is Spurs versus Leicester. Now, this was probably the hardest one to predict because Spurs have been so inconsistent. If you look at their results, they've gone from 4-0 wins against Villa to, losses against Brighton. And this was really hard one to predict. Leicester have also not been in brilliant form despite their successes in Europe this season, but I reckon that Leicester will prevail and we will see another uneasy Tottenham performance. I reckon they'll win 2-0 with goals from Daka and Maddison. The final game of Sunday is West Ham versus Arsenal, and I think that West Ham will be really pushing for this win after a game that I think they're completely robbed in, a 2-1 draw against Frankfurt in their semi-final of the Europa League. Had that bone over kick gone in, would have been incredible. If you've not seen it, please go check it out. But Arsenal will also be on a high as they did win 3-1 against a very nervy Manchester United defence, and I think that they will prevail once again with a 2-0 win from goals from Saka and Nketiah, both players seeming to be on fire at the minute. And the final game of this game week is Manchester United hosting Brentford on Monday. Despite a draw against Chelsea, they were very nervy, as well as they were against Arsenal. And I don't see them winning, because Brentford, don't let it score for you, 0-0, they dominated, and it easily, in my opinion, could have been 4-0 to Brentford. I reckon that they will win 2-1 with goals from Ronaldo, Tony and Eriksen, and I think that we'll see Brentford prevail with another weary defence from United. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Please subscribe, please hit the like button. We're aiming for 20 for this video. Please comment down below in your predictions. I will see you next time with hopefully some more Premier League content. Maybe some predictions we might mix up. We'll see what happens. Anyway, JB out.